Now, we are just 3 days away from the start of the new Premier League season. Arsenal kick us off. They make the trip to Brentford on Friday, live on Sky Sports. Will it end, though, with them finishing below their North London rivals Tottenham once again? Well, let's ask some questions then. Let's debate it. We're joined by Sophie Nicolaou from the Highbury Squad podcast and the Spurs YouTuber and podcaster Chris Cowlin. Very good afternoon to you both. Before we start, we've just come off that racism story. Sophie, how classy were the Spurs fans with their treatment of Bukayo Saka?
I think in our rivalry, that was a really special moment. You know, one of the things I think fans won't tolerate is racial abuse and also anything to do with the European Super League. We've shown that we can come together and have united voices. What happened was disgraceful, disgusting. And you're talking about young players as well that have really done such a great job and made their country proud, as well as their clubs proud too. So seeing the Spurs fans clap for Saka when he came on the pitch and the banner, that was just a really nice touch, and it just shows you that we can come together to do great things sometimes.
Chris, how proud of you of your own supporters?
You know, to see the Tottenham Hotspur fans clapping Saka, unbelievable, fantastic to see. And you know, nobody should go through any of this racism and discrimination. It's dreadful to see. You know, I was very lucky to be at the Euro 2020 final as well, to see how well those young players did. You know, nobody deserves what they received. Right,
that's enough of the niceties between you two. Sophie, let's talk Arsenal then. You start against Brentford. How are you feeling for the new season? Are you confident?
I wouldn't say confident. Is it a little ominous that we're playing on Friday the 13th as well, against a newly promoted club who are going to be looking to put their best foot forward. Brentford's story is fantastic. They've got some really talented players. They play nice football. Seemed in that game against Chelsea and Spurs, which I don't call friendlies because playing a London rival is never a friendly, in my opinion. Our issues came to fruition again. Some of the positions we just haven't addressed, and I think that could come back to haunt us. So I'm excited for the new season, but I'm approaching it with reality, and that is if we don't make any more signings, I think it's going to be another struggle for us.
Yeah, I want to get onto signings with both of you in a little while, but before I do, Chris, you start against the champions. How do you feel about that?
Wow, it doesn't get any bigger, does it? You know, 5 days away until we face the champions, Manchester City, at the Spurs Stadium. You know, we've made 3 signings so far. You know, all of us Tottenham Hotspur fans wanted us to sign more defensive reinforcements. We've just signed Christian Romero, one of the best in European football, but it now looks unlikely that he's going to feature on Sunday. We just need more signings. But Fabio Paratici, the new sporting director of football, has only been in the job for 5 weeks. He's signed 3 players, but you know, like Sophie said, you know, we need signings as well. We've got 21 days until the transfer window ends. And, you know, let's hope it is a busy 3 weeks for Spurs.
Right, there's an elephant in the room here. Let's address it. Harry Kane. Have you got to keep him, Chris?
I would love to keep Harry Kane at Spurs. I understand his reasoning, you know, because he wants to leave, because he wants trophies. You know, it's been a very, very long time at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club without trophies. 13 long years now since we've won a League Cup, and it's far too long. Harry Kane deserves trophies. A lot of our players who have left the club, you know, current players, they deserve trophies. We just haven't got over that line. Personally, I'm hoping that Harry Kane will stay. Hope he does. Hope Nuno Espirito Santo, Daniel Levy and so on sort this situation out with Harry Kane. You know, it's a big couple of weeks for us.
Sophie, Chris has just said it there. Spurs haven't won anything for ages. Should Harry Kane get on his bike?
I think if there's a player who plays in the Premier League that deserves to win and have an opportunity somewhere else to try doing that, it's Harry Kane, because clearly that's not going to happen at Spurs anytime soon. And unfortunately for Spurs fans, you know, they sacked a manager who was a winner, a born winner, and won at every club he went to 5 days before a League Cup final, and he could have delivered that for them potentially. So for us, we've always had that silver lining of no matter how bad we've been towards the end of Wenger's reign and what's happened with Unai and Arteta, we've still been able to win 4 FA Cups. And that has been something that's kept us going. It's given us something to shout about, and winning the FA Cup is always a pleasure. We've done it more than any other team. So the toughest part is at some point you might lose players because they want to go on to win. And we could find ourselves in a similar boat in a couple of years if we do not build a proper team around Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe. Keeping players like Kieran Tierney, ambitious players like, Thomas Partey. It's very important to do that. And unless we really build a team that can compete in the Premier League again, it's going to be a struggle.
So that said, Sophie, what do you make of the business that Arsenal have done so far in this window?
I think it's been nice. I think the Ben White signing is fantastic. He could be our Harry Maguire, John Stones, maybe even better. You saw his fluidity, his passing ability, his cross-passing against Tottenham, balls to Kieran Tierney in particular. I think 50 million is worth it when you think about British players in the UK market. Lokonga has already proved to be a very exciting signing, someone that can step in maybe right away and play, in my opinion. 21 years old, captain of Anderlecht and endorsed by Vincent Kompany. I'll take that, and he's showing it in these pre-season games that he has something unique about him. But we need a right back, we need a creative midfielder, and I tell you, if Aubameyang doesn't start scoring goals, we're going to be in very big trouble this season. And if he doesn't, we need goals from other areas of the pitch. That means Pepe has to step up. If Lacazette is staying, he needs to step up. More goals from midfield. That's something we've really lacked. So I still think we're 3 or 4 players shy of actually playing competitive football and giving it a real go this season.
What do you think, Chris? Can Spurs be competitive?
We've got to be. A couple of years ago, we were in the Champions League final. Last season, we played it in the Europa League. And this season, we're about to start in the Europa Conference League. So we've dropped down in the past 2 years, and we need to get back to where we used to be, playing Champions League football. And, we've signed 3 players in this transfer window so far: Brian Hill, Pierluigi Golini and Christian Romero. But we do need more defensive reinforcements. In my opinion, we do need another centre-back. We do need a right-back. We still need a creative midfielder. And, of course, we do need a backup striker to Harry Kane. Or if Harry Kane is leaving, we need a couple of strikers in. So there is a lot of work to do. A lot of players possibly still to leave the club as well to generate some money of income. But we are going through a transition. But the main focus of this season is progression again, going in the right progression, going in the right direction, and perhaps finishing in the top 4 in that Champions League spot again.
Of course, and also finishing above your North London rivals. So I'm going to ask you both. I'm going to start with you, Sophie. Who finishes above who, Arsenal or Spurs?
It's so weird because last season Spurs just finished above us by 1 point and we were supposed to have our worst season ever. I'm not sure if North London is blue. I'm not even sure if it's red anymore. It's just been a little bit dead, hasn't it, the last couple of seasons. And I think we could do it this season only because Spurs are in a transition. We're still in a transition, but I think that this season is the season that St Totteringham's Day comes back.
Chris?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We've done it for the last 5 years, and I tell you what, North London is definitely white. I can tell you that.
Well, on that note, we'll leave it. Thank you both very much. You were both very civil, and we weren't sure how that would go, but thanks very much. See you soon.